Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. A very, very special video for you guys today. I have on my two German friends, Flobby and Morten, both joining me for a conversational video about balance. We're going to give our balance wish list, talk about the state of the meta. I've done a million of these videos now, kind of the podcast format. A lot of you guys seem to enjoy them, but I haven't done one with just pro caliber players and that's it. So today we're going to switch things up. Let me know what you guys think of this kind of format and having these guests on. First off, Flobby, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, doing great. Happy to be back.
Happy to have you back. And Morten, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I'm doing good as well. Thanks for inviting us.
Good. Yeah, I'm happy to have you guys. I want to start out, before we get to your list of, you each have 4 cards that you want to see balance. Before we get to those 4 cards each, I want to ask you guys 3 quick questions. Question number 1 is, what do you both think the state of like the meta is right now? Morten, start with you. On a scale from like 1 to 10, what would you rate the meta right now?
I would say, honestly, 8. I think it's like one of the best metas ever. Like, so many decks are viable. Like, still, like, it's super hard to balance the game in general right now because there's so many cards. Every month a new card is coming, so it's like people expecting the meta to be perfect, but it's not never going to be perfect because it's so hard to balance all the cards. But I think in general, like most of the cards and win conditions are viable, like Giant Golem, Lava Hound, Graveyard, even Miner, like Miner in general. Like I think like every win condition is viable.
Yeah. Flobby, do you agree with that, or what do you rank it?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I would rank probably like 7 because I still think there are a bit like a few cards that are too strong and a few cards that should get reworked. But in general, I think the state of the game is okay. Like the meta is quite good. So yeah, I think if there are like some changes, I think it would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I agree with you guys too. I think that the meta, you always kind of look at it in, you know, a bad meta is a meta where one deck just dominates, right? We saw it with Elixir Golem in the past.
Yeah.
We saw it with like Lava Clone like years ago. We saw it like just having that one kind of archetype that just dominates everything else. But you guys are right. To me too, it feels like even though some decks might be more annoying than others, it feels like everything's kind of viable. Every win condition is pretty much viable. If you guys could like buff one win condition that's not on your lists, what would it be? Let me actually more specifically, do you guys think that like either Golem or Hog should have a rework or a buff or a nerf, or are you totally happy with both of those cards? Just because I ask, because those are the 2 most polarizing win conditions that I hear about.
I don't think that they should get reworked. I think like Hog and Golem are so like they are so classic in the game, and they also like they both get played. Like Golem, you can play even Golem in top ladder. You can even play Hog in top ladder. It's just like that maybe Golem and Hog are not the strongest cards right now, the strongest win conditions, but they're still like viable. I don't think they should get reworked. The card I would probably see the most get buffed or like get changed is probably the Goblin Giant, because he's just gonna like he's just played with Sparky or like with Double Prince Spam and not in any other deck. So that would be like the only card you could maybe rework or something. But yeah.
Morten, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree on that. I think Goblin Giant is like the only win condition which should get like maybe like just a small buff down, like not a big buff, but like a small buff in general. And I think, yeah, otherwise, I don't think Hawk and Golem should get reworked, because then maybe one of the cards is so too OP or like gets worse. I think they're fine like in like low ladder or like mid ladder. I think the cards get played a lot. So yeah.
No, I agree with you guys on the Hog. On Golem, I kind of think that, you know, I think we might have talked about this on the last time you were on the video, Flobby, but I think that Golem, I think I would like to see him do, like, have more hit points, which doesn't seem natural, but even more HP, and make him more of a beefy tank, and take away a little bit of that death damage, you know? Just because...
Yeah, you could do that, yeah.
But anyway, we're kind of getting nitpicky, so let's move on. The other question I had for you guys is, on the minor nerf that is likely coming, Clash Royale put out an official tweet saying that, like, we're reworking a card or nerfing a card next season that's going to be very unpopular. Sorry, B-Rad. So everybody's assuming it is the minor. What do you guys think? Do you think that minor is deserving of a nerf, and are you surprised?
I'm not surprised, honestly. I think minor deserved like a nerf for over, I don't know, 6 months or something, because like minor's like low-key OP. You can play like right now in every deck, you can play like 10,000 like minor wall breaker decks. Then there's like minor control. Then you can play the Lava Hound. Even Golem has sometimes right now the minor. You can play the Giant. You can play like almost like in every deck you can put a minor in. So I think it deserves a small rework or a small nerf, but I think still like after it should be viable. Like maybe some less damage or like less HP, but I still think the card, even if it's a small nerf, it's gonna be viable.
I also
mean,
think like
yeah.
that with the time, I think like the miner got stronger because the player got better in the game and got better in defense. And the thing is, with the miner, you can always get like chip damage to the tower, and if they defend well, they can get even more value out of the miner. So I think like when the game goes further, I think the miner will even get stronger, even if you don't change him. So I think like a nerf would be like a little nerf would be deserved. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, sounds good. Well, let's go ahead. My final question before we get to your cards, guys, is in terms of balancing. Do you think that this game ought to be balanced for ladder or just for tournament level standard? Ignore whatever inequalities happen on ladder with different levels.
That's a difficult question. The thing is, in general, I would say the most important thing is obviously that the competitive game is quite good balance. But the thing is, right now, I feel like competitive is kind of balanced because in competitive you can play so many decks. In most competitions, you have like bans or stuff where you can like just ban the most OP cards. And in ladder, the problem is like that there are a lot of spam decks, a lot of Sparky decks, a lot of giant graveyard decks, a lot of decks a lot of people think are annoying, and they can just like always get played and stuff like that. And I feel like in ladder there would need to be like a little change, but I also don't know really how to do it. But I feel like the ladder is not as good balanced as competitive is at the moment. But yeah.
Morten, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I kind of agree on that. Like, the thing is, the meta in ladder is like completely different. In ladder, like there's so much like giant graveyard, so much giant sparky, so much like spam in general. Like in competitive, nobody's playing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you have to do something against. But it's, as I said, it's really hard to balance the game in general.
Why is Giant specifically so much better in ladder than it is at tournament level standard? It's like, it sounds like an obvious question, but like I know he's doing more damage, but the towers have more HP too. Like, why is he so much better? Why does he scale so much better when maxed?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good question.
You're like, I don't know, it just does.
That's a good question. I think like there are like a lot of one tricks with Giant Sparky and with Giant Graveyard, and
okay.
I don't know. I don't think Giant is like really, really good in this manner, but
Yeah.
Giant Graveyard and Giant Sparky is like, I don't know, super annoying to play against.
I agree. I'm sure my viewers do as well. So guys, let's go ahead and alternate. No, actually, yeah, let's alternate. Flobby, you go first. Give me your first card that you want to have balanced.
Okay, the first card is Warbreaker.
Okay. What are we doing to it?
So, yeah, my idea on the Warbreaker would be like, the thing is, the Warbreakers are so fast, so I think they would need like a little deploy time nerf or like, yeah, like I think like plus 0.25 seconds deploy time would be kind of fair because sometimes it's so hard to react to them and they are so fast. And also the damage is really high, so my idea would also to be minus 5% damage. And yeah, so I think it would be like a little nerf, but also not too much. But yeah, you would
Small
need to
nerf
see it.
to wall breakers.
Yeah.
All right, I can get on board with that. There's no doubt about it. Wall breakers are really strong. I mean, like, newsflash, right? I mean,
yeah,
they're in like 3 of the top 5 decks or so. At least they were the last time I checked in terms of just sheer win rates. Morten, what do you think about wall breakers? Are you on board with that too?
Yeah, I think Warbreaker is one of the most fun card to play, but I don't know. I think the biggest problem with it is that you can, like, even if you're like your opponent has like some good counters against it, most of the time you can outcycle them, and you always can get like a positive elixir trade against the opponent. Like you can play like 2 elixir at the bridge, and in some decks they have to play like a bomb tower, and you always get like a positive elixir trade for that, and then you can outcycle them. So I think, yeah, for sure they deserve a small nerf.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on board with that. So we all agree on wall breakers. Morten, what's your first card?
My first card is Baby Dragon. So for me, like, Baby Dragon is honestly one of the most annoying cards to play against. In some decks you don't have like too much air defense, and I don't know, like if you're playing like against Graveyard and they're doing like Baby Dragon Graveyard push, it's so annoying to defend the Baby Dragon if you don't have anything in cycle. Most of the time you have to overcommit against it, or against Lava Hound. I don't even think like Lava Hound is like so annoying to play against, but like this Lava Hound Baby Dragon push is super hard to defend. And even against Golem if the Baby Dragon is surviving with 1 HP. So honestly, I would say like a small HP nerf in general. I think the damage is fine, but so I think
should it die to like Fireball Zap, or is that going too far?
I think it's going too far, but maybe from lightning or something. Yes.
Die to lightning.
The thing is, like, for 4 elixir, it's like the only like splash damage unit in the game, like in air. So I think it's like way stronger than Execution. Execution is like 5 elixir and it's like on the ground. So I think it deserves a small nerf. Maybe Execution is viable then again. So yeah.
Okay, Morten. I mean, Flobby, do you agree with that too on the Baby Dragon? I heard the Baby Dragon, like, They just nerfed it though, you know?
Yeah, it's a really difficult question. The thing is, like, I don't think the baby thing is too OP, but at the same time, I completely understand Morten that it's so annoying to play against him, and that he is pretty strong because he is such a tanky card, and you can't even kill him with lightning. I mean, like, lightning is 6 elixir spell who's doing damage, and he can't kill the baby thing. So this is really a bit weird, but I mean, he's also not doing that much damage, so I don't know. I feel like if you nerf him, it would probably be a too hard nerf, and he would probably be really weak.
Hey,
but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Give him a bit more damage and reduce like HP or something.
Yeah, that would be an idea, yeah.
Maybe. That's an interesting idea to give him more damage. It sounds even scarier with like Baby Dragon Tornado, but at the same time, you know, you're right. Letting him have an easy way to respond to him as well, because that's part of the issue, because, you know. Anyway, but okay, let's go on to the next one. Flobby, what do you have next? What's your second card?
My next is the bomb tower, and the bomb tower is pretty easy to explain, because if you look at the buildings which are getting played right now, the bomb tower is getting way more played than all the other buildings in the game, like Tombstone, like Goblin Hut and stuff like that. So the bomb tower is like the most played building, and it also has a quite good win rate as well. And I think the problem is that it has too much HP. Like, it survives like
balloon
even
hit,
fireball, lock, and stuff like that. Like, yeah, and the loon hit, even the loon hit. So I think he has a bit too much HP. So I would probably like nerf his hit points for 4%, like -4%. It's not that much, but like a little nerf.
Yeah, let me just start out by saying, before I get Morten's opinion on that I never thought I'd see the day that people are asking for a bomb tower nerf, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Like, it's pretty crazy. I was watching some stream, I forgot what it was, but like, there was obviously somebody in the stream who had not played Clash Royale in a while, and they were like, why are they playing Bomb Tower, LOL? And the streamer was like, or somebody in the chat was like, oh, Bomb Tower's everywhere right now. It's like, yeah, the game's changed a little bit. I don't know. Do you agree with that, Morten? Do you think that needs a nerf?
I think you have to agree with that. You can kill like Balloon Flawless with Bomb Tower, even it's costs 1 less elixir, it's not even attacking air, so something is wrong there. So I think like in general it's even if you're putting lightning on there that survives, it's so strong. Even against like the death bomb and some scenarios, you can play like right into a lava hound, and then like the lava pups pop, and then the bomb tower's like gonna die and kill all the lava pups because of the death damage. So
yeah,
I think I think it's a good nerf, like less HP in general.
All right, yeah, I think that, I don't know, it's, yeah, I guess I agree with you guys, you know, it's just, you make good points on it. It just feels like, why don't people run Bomb Tower in more decks? It's just like, it's only like minor wall break, like the cards that we know are getting nerfed or minor, mixed with the card that we think is going to get nerfed, wall breakers. Like, I feel like minor wall breakers are in like 90% of Bomb Tower decks. Maybe I'm off, but like, do you think that all three of those cards are to blame? Or is it just like, because of how strong minor is, these other cards seem that strong?
That's true. Like, the problem is every card is strong. Each one is really strong right now. But the thing is, like, if you nerf everything, like, the deck is probably not viable anymore. So it's true, if you would nerf like 1 or 2 cards, it probably would already be enough to nerf this deck. But the thing is, in general, like, if you compare the Bomb Tower to the other buildings, it's just way too strong. Or if you compare like the Wallbreaker to other 2 elixir cards, it's just way too strong. And that's the problem with it. Like, that's why I have like both on the list, for example. Okay,
Morten, go up. What do you got next for us?
I got Lava Hound, and my idea about Lava Hound is like that it doesn't appear in starting it anymore. I think it's super annoying if the opponent does like Lava first play, and I think it's like same as Elixir Pump or like Elixir Collector back then. If they did like Elixir Collector first play and don't have your spell in hand, you already lost your game. And it's for me, it's like right now the same with Lava Hound. If they do it in the back and you don't have like anything to punish him, you already lost the game automatically.
It's kind of the same with Golem, I would say. And for me, it would also be fine to not have Golem in the starter hand. Like, if you don't have Golem and Lava in the starter, it would even be fine for me. But yeah.
But I mean, I agree with you guys that it might be cool not to have those cards in a starting hand. But at the same time, like, they're not even that great right now in the meta. Like, it's not like they're bad, they're not awful maybe, but they're not like Golem and Lava Hound have both seen their better days. So do you think it's do you think it's right to give them like, would they have to see as like kind of a rework?
But I think it's a good point, because I think they are still kind of viable or kind of played in the top because of this play. Because like, so many players are just doing Golem first play or Lava on first play, and I hate this play. I also, like, as a Golem player, I never did this in the past. Like, I hate Golem first play. It's just a luck-based play, because you put out 8 elixir in a single elixir at the start of the game, which is so crazy. And I think if you can't do this, I think it would also be maybe different. And then you can maybe buff these cards a little bit. Yeah, maybe. Because you can't do this OP first play anymore. But at least like this play is not like this luck-based play is not viable anymore. So yeah, I kind of agree with Morten.
Devil's advocate. One more question is: what about like? I mean, it's an annoying first play, especially if you don't have an answer. But it can also really, you can lose the match in that first play too, right? Like Golem first play. So don't you think the chance there kind of counterbalances the win, or is it just you guys think it's like such a coin flip that it's just bad for the game?
I think it's just about being like, I think it's just in a competitive game, it shouldn't happen that you have imagine it like in a like CL or someone's doing like Flabber first play and you're losing a game because of that, and it's it's about like a lot of money, and then you're losing because he did Flabber first play and don't have like a bad starting. I think it's way too luck based.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Who's up next? Flobby.
Yep. My next card is the mini pekka. And the mini pekka, I think, is pretty strong right now. Like, a lot of people are saying he should get nerfed. I don't think like he should get nerfed really hard or something like this. I only think that the first hit of the mini pekka is sometimes so fast and sometimes really annoying because he's hitting so fast. So I think like if you do like the first hit a bit later, I think it would be like a little nerf and would be okay. I don't think the mini pekka is too OP. I don't think so. But I think like the first hit sometimes is really, really fast. So yeah.
Morten, how do we think about that? Mini pekka.
I don't know why mini pekka is so strong right now, but it's for sure super strong. I would say I would change the mini pekka in this sense. I would say like the range of the swing should like get nerfed. I don't know. Sometimes the mini pekka is like hitting a tube. Even the tube is like, I don't know, like 2 kilometers away. So it's kind of weird sometimes. So I think like for sure he deserves a small nerf. But yeah, maybe bring Lumberjack, or maybe buff Lumberjack a bit. I don't know. So yeah,
it's weird because
right
Mini Pekka didn't even receive a buff, but yet he was everywhere. I don't get it. I mean, was it because like obviously Elixir Golem that was part of it in the beginning, but now it's just like it doesn't matter. Like Elixir Golem's not even super popular, but Mini Pekka is everywhere. Like even in like balloon cycle decks instead of Lumberjack sometimes. It's pretty crazy. So yeah. I guess I can't argue with you. What do you have next? Who's next? Morten?
Me. I would say I have like Expo on my list.
Oh.
I don't know, like what was like the last? I think the last nerf of Expo was like a buff was like I think he got like 4% more HP.
It was to target like ground only. That was the last time they touched it.
So I think he deserves a small HP nerf because I think it's super annoying to play against Expo and you're playing like Rocket and stuff, and then you're putting a Rocket on that, and it's still like with Rocket it gets like 700 damage or something, so you have to always like play Ice Golem, then play Rocket, and even if you're playing like Minor Poison against it, you have to play like Ice Golem, Minor Poison, and Lock on the Expo because Poison and Lock is not enough anymore. So I think Expo it's like super annoying to play against. I think it takes a lot of skill, but I think it's like way too strong in this sense. It has too much HP.
I got you. So even though it's high skill, it doesn't matter. It's still high, like too strong. And I kind of agree with you. It does feel like it should die to Rocket. It feels that way. Like
and at least it just gets like 100 damage on the tower. Like, but right now it's getting like 500 or 600, and it's like
that's true. Yeah, even if it doesn't die, you're right. Like just barely dies. Do you agree with that too, Flobby?
Yeah, I think so. I think also like the Expo is so strong for such a long time. And I feel like if you are really good with it, it's so strong. So, yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Next up? Flobby?
Yeah, next up is Magic Archer. Magic Archer, I think, is like, this is one of the cards which, like, where so many people say, like, oh, it should get nerfed and, oh, Magic Archer is so annoying. I think, like, Magic Archer is pretty strong, but I feel like if you nerf him, he could also get weak. So you need to really take care with this buff or like nerf, not buff obviously. So I would probably nerf him minus 0.1 hit speed seconds. So like just a little less fast than before. So it wouldn't probably change that much, but yeah, just like a little nerf.
Yeah, Magic Archer does. I was kind of on the boat of like, let's just wait on Magic Archer for a while, but yeah. He does feel so, especially when he connects to the Princess Tower. Like even 3 hits, you're like, wow, he's doing so much damage. It's insane. What do you think, Morten?
I think you have to agree on that.
I can't believe you had all nerfs, by the way, Flobby. You had all nerfs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think like you can play Magic Archer in like a lot of decks right now, and like if you play them in cheap cycle decks, like most of the decks, like even decks have Fireball, like Lava Hound, but then you can easily outcycle them. You have a second Magic Archer on the field, and if you're playing like spam or like some bait decks, if you don't have Fireball, you already lose automatically against Magic Archer if you have Rocket, for example. So I think like a small nerf in general, I think you deserve that.
What is it about Magic Archer that, you know, like Flobby kind of mentioned there, I agree with him that it seems like they nerf him and he's useless, never played, one of the worst legendaries. And then they buff him and boom, just like that, he's back to super strong. What is it about the mechanics of Magic Archer? Is it just the tower damage that he can shoot through? Is that the inherent, you know, biggest issue with him, or no?
I think the point is that the nerfs and buffs they made were like always on the hit speed. And the hit speed is so important because it can like 0.1 second can decide if the Magic Archer locks onto the tower or if he doesn't. Because the people can still react then a little bit faster. And this little second can make like such a difference. And that's why I think that the Magic Archer hit speed change can change is such a big change, like nerf in this sense.
Yeah, because of the hit speed, you have to always predict the Magic Archer at the bridge, and like if you don't do it, you're losing the game because the Magic Archer is like you can't react so fast. Like if they're playing, you have to predict always the Magic Archer. If you don't predict it, the Magic Archer at the tower, you take already like 500 damage. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're totally right. And the last time they did it, even though Flobby suggested the hit speed to be and Flobby, on all your balance changes too, you're like very small, because I think that we get the point though, and I agree with you that I think that whether you agree or disagree with these balance changes, if they do them too big either way, I feel like that's where we run into issues where they're rebalancing the same card over and over again, you know? I think that like just tapering everything down, and then if it needs another nerf the next month, then go for it. But this just taking it really small and incrementally.
I also don't like if they like nerf it so hard, then it's really weak, then they buff it again, and it's too strong. I feel like if you do it really slow and then maybe do another one next season, it's much better than always doing like such a hard nerf buff thing, because then always the people said, oh, now it's weak again, now it's strong again. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
Morten, before your last card is revealed, and I have two of my own as well to ask you guys about, but before your last card's revealed, as a pro player going into like a new, let's just say there was balance changes and then you're playing the next day or the next week or whatever, like how much does that affect your preparation for like CRL? Like how much do you keep your balance changes? How much does that impact the meta, like your specific decks, and then like all your planning for your opponents?
Honestly, if you have a game like after balance changes, I don't really think it matters much, because most of the time, like I expect if after seeing a balance change, you can see like which decks are still gonna be viable, and you expect the opponent. I expect most of the time the opponent playing like decks from the old meta, or like maybe switching some card in. Imagine like Electro-Wizard gets a buff, maybe switching it in instead of a Musketeer or something, or like if a card gets like completely broken. Like back then the Witch at CRL, so you just put a Witch instead of a like Musketeer in one deck.
Yeah,
so
same
like
decks, just different card.
Yes, small adjustments, but most of the time you just prepare for the old decks in general.
Okay, what's your last card, Morten?
My last card is Graveyard.
Ooh,
I think.
Okay.
Honestly, right now I think Graveyard is next to mine the strongest win condition in my opinion. Like the Battle Healer. There's so many Graveyard decks, like with Barpart, then with Battle Healer Bomb Tower, then with like Isis Baby Dragon Tornado, and I think it's so annoying to play against. And for me, it's like maybe you do have to nerf it, but maybe you just have to rework it. Maybe put the Skeletons like that they always spawn at the same time, or like at the same how you say it. Yeah. You have,
I get it. The same pattern every time.
Yeah. Less RNG in general.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes you play a poison on that, you get 0 damage, then your opponent's playing a poison on that, you get like 300 damage. I think it's like kind of random. And at the end, you can just put like Graveyard Poison on a tower, and it's impossible. And like after Triple Elixir got out, I think Graveyard is so strong because right now you can wait and double Elixir time, you just put Graveyard Poison on the tower, and it's impossible to defend Graveyard Poison Triple Elixir time.
I don't see Graveyard getting a nerf. Maybe it will, but I don't see them actually doing it, whether or not it needs it. But it sounds like a little low-key tip for my viewers out there. If they want to try Graveyard and they're not a Graveyard player, especially with Triple Elixir being a thing now, is just like never, like especially if you're not a graveyard user, you don't know what you're doing. Just wait until all the way like till sudden death overtime to start using your graveyards and just defend, unless you're given like a super opportunity.
Yeah, on Triple X time, like I played against RF last season, and we played like passively, and like in Triple X time, we just did like graveyard poison on the tower and just defend all the time. And like after doing like 5-6 times, even if you're poison, like you get always like 300-400 damage. So yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah, no doubt. So okay, so you had all nerfs too, dude, pretty much, right?
Yeah,
wow,
kinda.
An all nerf special for you guys. Well, I have one buff that I want to run by you guys. Tear me to shreds, go for it. They're nerfing Miner apparently, so I want to go ahead and buff the other 3 elixir card that has kind of interesting and unique dynamics. This is also a legendary card. I want to buff again the Fisherman. Small, like Flobby says, like very, very small incremental buffs here, but like I actually maybe, and I want to get the pro perspective on this, but I actually liked when Fisherman was a little bit more viable. I don't want to make him as strong as he was at his peak, but get him like another buff to move him in the direction of actual, like, you know, actually using him, especially if Miner isn't that popular anymore. I think having another card like that would be like an interesting dynamic added to the game. How do you guys feel about Fisherman in general?
I think it would be interesting to see how he would does if you like buff him like a little bit. I think he's one of the weakest support cards at the moment in the game, so he's not really getting played in top ladder. He's not really getting played competitive, and so I think 100% he deserves a little buff. But still, like you said, you need to take care if you don't buff him too hard, so that he's not gonna get really OP as like back when he was released.
Yeah, I honestly think like the hook time is like way too slow, and I think if they buff it, like make it like a Fisherman a bit faster, I think it's gonna be viable and a really good card. I honestly like the meta as well doing CR. Like you could play even, and because of Fisherman, like other cards were viable as well. Like doing CR, like Giant Skeleton was insanely good.
Yeah, and that
like,
was
Giant
fun.
Skeleton,
yeah,
Giant Skeleton with Graveyard, Giant Skeleton with Balloon, Giant Skeleton with Royal Giant. So. I think Fisherman is a really fun card as well, and you can get like positive elixir trade out of that, and I think Fisherman is like a skill card as well.
Yeah, because he's a card that you could use. Like you could pull that giant skeleton to your tower, so there's a lot of risk involved in that card. It's a dynamic card, and that's why I like him so much. So yeah, and I loved watching like pros play Fisherman too. Like it was one of my favorite things to watch. And you're right, it's just not used anymore. He's just kind of crappy, just unless you want to pull mini pekkas to his face all day. So the other card is actually a nerf on my end, and it's a card that you don't see a ton, I guess, in CRL or pro gameplay. But actually, maybe you do now because of that one Wallbreakers deck. But either way, it's Valkyrie. I do think that Valkyrie's, like, especially like in a vacuum, I think Valkyrie's so strong. Like she has so much HP. She can stop like anything at the bridge, all the support troops. She's really great, but maybe a little bit too great. What do you guys think about Valkyrie?
Difficult. The thing is, like, she is so great in like the Wallbreakers decks right now, but I don't feel like that in general that she's too strong. Like, of course, sometimes she seems really strong and really OP, but the problem is also because she's so slow and so defensive and not really good in offense, she's not getting played in like beatdown decks and not in like Giant, not in Golem and stuff like that. So she's in general like not getting played in that many decks. And if Wallbreakers, for example, get a nerf or like the Bomb Tower, the Magic Archer or something like this, I don't know if Valkyrie is still going to get played that much in the top ladder, for example, like in competitive. So yeah, I don't know.
No, those are good points. Those are all fair points. How do you feel about it? I mean, I think she's definitely going to continue. If she's not nerfed, she's going to continue to be like keep Royal Hogs in check. I feel like a bit too. What do you think, Morten?
I think in the decks which Valkyrie is right now currently, I think she's super OP. Like in this Wallbreaker deck, like I think like in this deck, like if you just see the Wallbreaker Bomb Tower deck, like Valkyrie looks like super strong. But as Flobby said, you can just play her in like control decks in general. Like in different decks, she doesn't work. Like in Golem, maybe sometimes in Lava, but not in Giant.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
true.
I would maybe like a small nerf. I think a small nerf. She might deserve a small nerf. Honestly, like I think I playing Wallbreaker on my own, but I hate to play against it, and I see the point that Valkyrie is like super annoying.
You're right too, though. Like if they nerf the bomb tower, the wall breakers, and the miner, then maybe they don't need to nerf miner Valkyrie anymore. You know, so yeah, it's interesting to see kind of the trickle down effect. But guys, I think that is our list. We covered 10 cards there. Any other cards that you guys think? Yeah, any thoughts on the heal? Like heal's going to be removed and replaced. I don't even know what that means, but any thoughts on what it could be? Like, are you? Yeah.
I don't really know what it's gonna be, but I think it's good that they changed or like that they reworked the heal completely, because the heal is like, it's always a card that the people hated when it was too strong, and if it was not strong, nobody played it and nobody really liked it. I don't know, like I feel the card was not like nobody wanted to heal Clash Royale, so I feel like it's good that they remove it, but I really have no idea what they're gonna do.
If I think about it, I think Battle Healer deserves a nerf also. I think Battle Healer is super annoying, like with Night Vision in general. Like if you play a poison on it and the Battle Healer is like hitting some troops, the Night Vision already full life again. So I don't really like the heal in general. I don't want to see it reworked. I don't want to see it viable again, because I already think Battle Healer is super annoying.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, you know, way back in the day, they said they never add heal, and we're seeing why they initially didn't want to do that, because both the heal and the battle healer, even if they're effective, it's not in a good way. It's not in a way that makes you feel good about the game, really. You know, it's kind of like you know, like spammed at the... Yeah, exactly. But anyway, guys, we'll go ahead and end it there, guys. All of Morten and Flobby's information, their YouTubes, their Twitters, their social media, their player stats and profile, everything will be listed below in the show notes. Guys, thank you so much for both coming on. Anything going on in the lives of both of you guys that you want to share? Any content coming up on your YouTube channel or your Twitch stream or anything like that?
I mean, like Morten is obviously already doing English content, so you guys definitely should check that out. I'm probably, maybe we'll do like one weekly English video soon, because like so many people requested for it. So yeah, let's see.
Okay, awesome. Morten?
Yeah, I'm doing English videos right now on my second channel. Waiting for CRL and excited to compete again.
Yeah, good luck in CRL for sure. How many English videos are you putting out a week? And has the growth been pretty good?
4 or 3, yeah. It's good. The feedback is amazing. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. No problem, guys. Go ahead and check them out. I'll have all those linked for you guys, as I mentioned. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us on.
No problem, guys. Gonna give a shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information as well. Thank you for watching. And as always, take care, guys.